Hey guys, thanks for clicking on the video and welcome to my first ever video. It's going to be a highlight of the Arizona Cardinals Offensive Playbook. I decided to do this. I was going to make a highlight video for all 32 team offensive playbooks. Something I really like doing. I really like looking at all the different playbooks and coming up with different schemes. And I thought I would go ahead and help out some people in the process since I've been watching a lot of like YouTube videos and go into a lot of different forums, and I noticed a lot of people pretty much are just in it for the money, and it's kind of I don't know. I'm just kind of annoys me that a lot of people would rather, instead of help people other people get better, they'd rather make a quick buck off of those people wanting to get better. Like, I understand some people, it's their jobs, like S Gibbs and Z Falls and people like them. Like, they work for Premium Madden, they work for EA Sports or whatever, and that's their jobs, is to like come up with strategy guides and stuff like that. I completely understand that. I'm totally on board with that. But the people who sell ebooks and like for $15, $20, people who have like the monthly subscription, the yearly subscription for all the tips and stuff, promising to give you all the nanos and all the glitch plays and money plays and stuff like that. Like, you honestly don't need any of that to get good at the game. Like, I never had any of that. I think I'm pretty good at the game. And yeah, I just want to help people get better at the game, because I think that's the first step in helping a community grow, is helping other people, the newer players, get better, because the community is never going to grow if you keep like polarizing the new players and not helping them get better. So anyway, sorry for going off on a little tangent there. I'm probably going to have to split this video up into two parts, since there's like a 15-minute video limit on YouTube. Probably going to do the shotgun in one video and all the undercenter in the next, so I'll jump right into it. I used to run Tennessee at the beginning of the season. Tennessee's a very similar playbook to Arizona, so a lot of the stuff kind of carries over. So I know some stuff about Arizona. I do think Tennessee completely outclasses Arizona, but I'll get into that later if I have time. So I'll start with the split close. I don't really run this formation very much. Something that I did like to do as like a mix-up to catch my opponent off guard. Normally, there's no way, if you scroll through the packages, there's no way to get your halfback into the back, like a second halfback into the backfield. The closest thing to that would be tight end slot, where your tight end goes to the slot and a fullback comes into the backfield. But what you can do for that is you can put your halfback on the depth chart that you want in the backfield. You can put him as the start and fullback, so that when you use this package, the tight end goes into the slot and your next halfback comes into the backfield. So I used to do this. I used to use Pittsburgh Steelers, and I would do this with Dree Archer. So in that case, I would have Dree Archer as my starting fullback, and I would use this package and get Dree Archer into the backfield. Heath Miller would go to the slot. All you have to do, if you don't want your tight end in the slot, you would just sub out your slot receiver. So in this case, John Brown, sub him out and then sub him back in, and that way he won't be able to get taken out through packages. So, and the reason I used to like to do that is because this play fullback inside, it's like an inside zone, and it meshes. It's, a lot of people don't really expect it. A lot of people, when they see split close, they think like fullback trail, slip screen, power O, stuff like that. And so it kind of catches people off guard, especially if you have a more explosive running back like a Dree Archer, like a Darren Sproles, somebody like that. And it's just a really good, quick run play that a lot of people don't expect. And even better, if you're using something like the Eagles and you have Darren Sproles back there, now he's running your other routes, like close HB Will. He's running the flat route rather than Zach Ertz or whoever. Like, you'd want more speed running those routes, someone who can catch the ball. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about that formation. Like, run the power O. The power O's good. Fullback inside, like I just showed you. You can mix that in. Slip screen's a nice play. I like the close fullback trail, and that's pretty much the plays that I used to run. HB wheel, close HB wheel's a pretty good play. You can mess around with that. Wide receiver corner is also a pretty good play. But yeah, didn't run that very much, just as like a mix-up once or twice a game. So don't really have much to say about it. Doubles a week, I never really run this formation either. The one bright spot about this formation is that it has a HB slip screen to the left and a wide receiver flanker screen to the right. And that's really the only thing I like about it. You can keep your opponent off guard, guessing which side you're going to run a screen to. The only running play in this formation is the HB delay, which is I really don't like, because I'm really not big on draws this year, And that's really a big downfall of the Cardinals playbook, in my opinion, is that almost all their run plays from shotgun are nothing but like draws and off tackles, which are pretty bad in my opinion. So if they had more like inside zone and HB bases, I think it'd be a much better playbook in my opinion. But they don't, so that's kind of depressing. PA zone across is also a pretty good play, so you can check that out. Crossing routes are really, really good this year. Most of them will beat man-to-man and also get open against zone. Corner strike is also a good play. I'll show you guys this. I used to run this like once or twice a game, just as like a mix-up if I needed a few yards. That running back route to Ellington is really good. It gets to the flat. Against man-to-man, he'll generally beat his man to the flat, and you can get upfield. Against zone, usually the corner in the crossing route will clear out the zone, and you can hit him underneath. So I'll try to run it here. And that's just, I mean, I probably got 1 or 2 yards right there. And more times than not, you'll actually get a little bit more yardage than that. Like right there, gets to the flat, pick up about 15 yards. You'd like a running back out there who has pretty good acceleration so he can catch the ball and get upfield quickly. And that's pretty much the brightest spot about that formation. Not much to say. I didn't really run it much. So yeah, same with Y-Trip's weak. Didn't really run it much. A lot of the plays, in my opinion, are just lackluster. Once again, the only 2 running plays are off tackle and mid draw, which really, really made me not want to run the formation. Slot cross in is a decent passing play. You got the slot cross. Crossing out's really good. Y trail, basic Y trip stuff. Not really going to cover that because I never ran it, and I don't want to throw stuff at you guys that I have no clue what I'm talking about. Gun trio. Titans have, the Tennessee playbook has trips tight end, which I think is much better than gun trio, but gun trio is not terrible. Like, they have HB delay for the run game, you have HB delay, off tackle, and counter, and it's kind of saved by the counter, because if it only had delay and off tackle, I'd be really sad, and I would probably never run this formation. Other good plays, inside dig is a nice little route combo over the middle of the field, same with PA slot corner. It's a very good play. I usually put the far left receiver on a drag rather than on the in route, so he gets to the middle of the field quicker. Something I like to do is with route flipping. I don't know if you guys know what that is. If you don't, it's when you put a wide receiver, or a tight end rather, outside of a wide receiver, and when you break the huddle and reset the play, their routes flip. So you can have people running routes that they normally wouldn't be running. So in this case, like, I put Rob Hausler. You usually tend to do this if you have 2 good tight ends. The Cardinals don't really have 2 good tight ends, but for demonstration's sake, put Rob Hausler far to the left, and I call verticals. And most people, when they see trips, they expect verticals and they expect the inside receiver to be running the deep cross. But when you do this, you press XLT on Xbox One or square L2 on PS4, and suddenly Michael Floyd is now running the deep cross, and Hausler's on like the seam route, and Fitzgerald's running the fade. And so what I like to do from here is I'll fade Hausler and slant Fitzgerald, and then you can. Oh, whoops! I accidentally snapped the ball. I actually didn't want to snap the ball there. I'll show it to you guys one more time. You fade Hausler, slant Fitzgerald, and I usually drag Carlson, and you can do whatever with Ellington. Like, I usually just block him. So it is a lot of setups, but usually I don't run this play very much. Usually I bring it out if I have like a 3rd and long, something my opponent hasn't seen all game, so he doesn't really know what to expect. A lot of people expect the deep cross from the slot receiver, so when they see the slant, they'll be thinking something else. Usually most people actually run with the slant, and you can hit the deep cross behind it. So I'll run it one time for you guys here. And yeah, the slant was open from the snap, so I just threw that. But it's a really good mix-up. A lot of people don't expect it. And yeah, and you have, as your final read out there, you generally have a tight end. In this case, it's Rob Hausler that you can throw up. Usually they're pretty big. You can try to get a spec catch or something with them. Gun snugs, I really don't run much, so I'm not going to say much about it. I have seen it run a lot on like YouTube videos, streams, and people running it against me. So I have an idea of what people like to do. I see a lot of people will run plays like bench, zone to Z spot, zone to post, stuff like that. Once again, the only 2 running plays are HB sweep and HB draw. I'd run the sweep for what it's worth. It's kind of taking the lesser of 2 evils. I think both plays are pretty bad, but if I had to pick one, I'd pick the sweep. For the zone to post play, that's the play I see a lot of people run. The far left out route torches man-to-man, so you just throw that when he cuts. Zone to post, or the post route by the right receiver, the red route, and that gets a good levels over the middle of the field with the reverse zig by the far right receiver. He looks like he's running like out and then in. I'll actually show you guys that. But the Ted Ginn route here, he actually runs out and then cuts back in. And that's a really good like check down route. I usually don't run snugs very much, so when I do run it, my opponent doesn't really know what I like to do out of it, so I can hit that in crucial situations. Try to throw that route. Cardinals kind of overthrew it. That's a good route. It kind of gets to the corner against zone and stuff. And once again, you have the Ellington route, which right there, I just saw that it was man-to-man, so I decided to hit that. But the Ellington route's the same route from the corner strike play before, where he gets to the flat pretty quickly. You can try to throw that quick. They were in some. Okay, that was a weird throw. They were in like goal line, so it didn't really matter. But yeah, that's pretty much it for snugs. I don't really run snugs very much, so I'm sorry I don't have much to say about it. I don't run many formations. Like most of the formations I run are I'll have like a few plays out of it because I don't run it very often. My opponent won't know what to expect most of the times, hopefully. And so I usually just stick with my base stuff a lot. Like spread, shotgun spread, I don't really run ever. So I don't really have much to say out of that. If you like it, some plays I think might be good. Zona shallow, zona post trail. You've got the ankle route out the backfield with slot outs, wide receiver screen, stuff like that. That's probably what I'd recommend running if you wanted to run it really badly, but I don't really run it. Flip trips, this is the formation right here. So flip trips, what I like to do, this formation pretty much carried me through 2 local tournaments that I won earlier in the year. I pretty much ran nothing but flip trips, pretty much ran nothing but deep fork as well. And I'll show you guys what I pretty much did. And it's really nothing like super crazy, but it's just really tough to stop in my opinion. Far left for personnel, you want your far left receiver to be someone big with good catch and traffic, so in this case Larry Fitzgerald. Inside slot, you want a pretty fast receiver or a good route runner, so in this case John Brown. Other slot receiver, you want someone who's either big or has good catch and traffic. Good catch and traffic, I'd say. It doesn't matter if they're big. So in this case, Michael Floyd. And then far right, you want your fastest receiver, and you'd rather have someone who can't catch as well far right, in my opinion, for my offense at least, because pretty much he's just going to be running drags all day. So I put Ted Ginn out there, who's really, really good at running drags, because it's not like running drags are very hard. So I'll show you guys deep fork, pretty much one of the best plays in the game, in my opinion. That's what makes flip trips one of the best formations in the game, in my opinion. Pretty much my 2 adjustments was I would fade Larry Fitzgerald and drag Ted Ginn. And pretty much against man-to-man, you read the drag, the corner, and the circle route out the backfield. Against cover 2, you read the drag and the circle route out the backfield, because the middle linebacker is going to... Most people think that they can hit the post against cover 2, but the middle linebacker more times than not drops super deep and will pick off or swat down the post. So you just have to kind of accept the fact that you're going to dink and dunk down the field against cover 2 sometimes. Cover 3, that's why I put Larry Fitzgerald on the fade. Cover 3, he'll be in a one-on-one situation out there. That's why I want my biggest receiver out there. So like I use the Patriots online. I'll put Gronk out there. You really have to make them respect your one-on-one matchups and let them know that they're not going to be able to play the entire game one-on-one out there, and make them double cover a receiver. And that's why this formation is so good in my opinion, because you can do that and you have so many good route combinations on the other side of the field that they have to worry about as well. And so pretty much the main thing that I do is I'll motion snap in, let him take like 2 steps, and just kind of make reads right there. I kind of screwed up the spec catch. Let's see if I can do it here. So right here I'm going to go for it again. And Fitzgerald dropped it. Let's see, okay, I'm actually going to make a read here. Looks like cover 2, cover 4, something like that. Just going to dump it off to Ted Ginn, try to get upfield. 9-yard gain right there. So really, I kind of screwed up with the spec catch. You have to make them respect the spec catch, and Fitzgerald's usually a pretty reliable receiver, but he dropped that last one. But make them respect the spec catch while hitting the underneath routes. And when you start hitting the underneath routes and stuff, and make them respect the spec catch, that's when you can hit them over the top with like the post, or even the corner route. Like the corner route, you don't really need to run to leave the corner route, there's just nothing better that I think you can put him on. Like, it's just a good read against man-to-man, and that's mainly why I run it. Nothing too ridiculous. Right there, the post was open, so just went ahead and threw that. Yeah, so that's pretty much the base play, like how I ran the base play. It works really well if you're not screwing up the spec catches like I was. If they have to respect the spec catch and everything else on the play, it's really tough to stop, because drags will pretty much get open whenever. It's just if you feel like taking that 3-yard gain or whatever. And then just all the other routes, like I'm not even talking about the circle route out the backfield. Like, the circle route out the backfields was initially the route that drew me to this play, and that's why it's so good, right? Oh, okay. Oh, he dropped it. But it's so good because it beats man-to-man, and more times than not, it'll get underneath zones. So it's one of the best just check down routes in the game, in my opinion. Ellington's just having a tough time right now. But whenever people are catching the ball, the play is really good. I promise. Oh god, I just got gassed up right there about the computer. I'm gonna try and run it one more time for you guys because it's kind of blowing up in my face right now. Okay, Carson Palmer just okay. I'm just gonna give up. So next play I like to run out of here is this slot trail. Pretty much just I leave everything the same. Like, you have the trail route with the drag route over the middle of the field that you read. If it's zone, you just find one that's open. If it's cover 3 or something, cover 4, and you see one-on-one on the left, you can throw it to Larry Fitzgerald for the spec catch attempt. If they feel like catching the ball, if it's man-to-man, you pretty much, the drag will almost always be open against man-to-man. If drag's not open, you look for the corner or the trail route. So I'll run it one time for you guys here. Go for the spec catch. There we go. Okay, so finally caught the ball. So I'll run it again, and I'll try to hit the drag or the trail right here. Okay. Yeah, that was a good. I thought I kind of waited a little bit too long, but as you saw, the drag route kind of cleared out for the trail route. Unfortunately, the only running play in here is this mid draw, so that's the pressing. But pretty much what I'll do is I'll motion him just like I'm running deep fork. I'll motion Ginn again. Well, Ginn again. Okay, I'll motion Ginn a few steps and snap the ball to make it all look the same, and then try to get upfield. Once again, I don't really like draws very much. I'll run this like very, very rarely. Definitely not in any clutch situations. Like, the only time I'll run this is if it's like 1st and 10 and I'm feeling good about my offense, or if it's like 2nd and short or something and I think I might be able to bust off a play somehow, then I'll run it. But otherwise, like, I stay away from that. Yeah, so that's pretty much the 3 main plays that I'll run out of here, along with the slip screen, which isn't an audible. But if you run a custom, I would highly recommend putting the slip screen as one of your audibles. Excuse me. So the other play that I like to run out of here is this deep curls, and most people out of this, it's like a bunch quad, like mini formation. Most people run the HB wheel, so that's what most people will be expecting, is that the running back's going to release to the flat and then cut up the field, and you're going to try to hit the running back in the flat, because that's what a lot of people generally do. They'll do it like this, and the running back will get a free release to the flat if it's man-to-man, and it'll meet his man out there. They just quick throw it to him. But I like this play a lot because against zone, which most people run like nothing but zone this year, the running back gets open pretty much every time. So I'll run this. I'll bring this out literally like once a game in super crucial situations, like 3rd and short, where 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4, where I know I need a few yards and I haven't shown them this play yet. I'll bring this out and try to pick up the first down. And the only thing I do is I slant RB. And the reason I do that is for the extra clear out, and for if it's man-to-man, it gives me another read. And hopefully if it's man, they'll follow the slant, and that'll leave the running back open behind it. So I'll run it one time for you guys here. Right there, it was man-to-man. So I went ahead and hit Michael Floyd. I'm going to try to get it to where it's zone so you guys see how well the running back gets open against zone coverage here. Right there. It's a really good clear out. You got to throw it right before he cuts in. Or, I mean, you could wait for him to cut in. It doesn't really matter, I don't think. But, yeah. It's a really good short yardage quick pass that a lot of people won't be expecting. And one more time for you guys, right there. I mean, I'm getting 10 yards. Usually I'll run it if it's like 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4. I'll run it on 4th down as well if I haven't shown it yet. Thing is, you got to be careful. Once you show it, your opponent's going to expect it since it's a unique formation. So next time you come out in it, they're probably going to be keying on that. So you just got to be careful. You can't overuse it. If you're mixing in the HB wheel, which I don't really do because I'm not big on the play, but if you're mixing that in along with deep curls, then maybe you could run it multiple times because they won't know which one to expect. But it's usually a once a game kind of play for me. And that's about it on flip trips. I can't overstate how good I think deep fork is. It just kind of wasn't working for me before, but really, if you're catching that spec catch and you're forcing them to worry about that constantly and making good reads on the other parts of the field, you're going to be in really good shape, in my opinion. Other formations, I'm going to go ahead and say trips HB weak I don't mess with at all. The only play I would consider running out of this is closed zone across as like a once a game kind of play, just like the deep curls. Just because of the multiple crossing routes over the middle of the field and the post route. You break it out once a game if you need like a 3rd and 10 or something like that. Even I mean, I don't think I've ever run it, so. But I think it could be good because crossing routes are super good this year. So I would recommend checking it out. Other plays in this formation I'm not big on. This formation at least has a HB base, which is better than HB off tackle in my opinion. So at least it has that, but yeah, I'm not really big on that formation or the 5 wide trips. They have 2 5 wide empty tray and 5 wide trips. Generally, I'll pick what I think is the best 5 wide formation in the playbook and run that one and won't even pay attention to the others. So I think empty tray is a lot better than 5 wide trips. So I'm just going to tell you guys right now, I don't run anything out of this. So I'm not even going to look at it. Empty tray, I'll run wide receiver screens. It's really good. I can't tell you how many people have run that on me online. It's a very popular screenplay. A lot of people will probably be expecting it now because a lot of people run it, but it's still really good if you mix it up. Other plays, stick and nod stick, are really good, or not really good, but they're pretty good in certain situations. Goes Y shake is a decent play if you need a lot of yardage. Y corner is a good short yardage play with the clear out by the tight end running the corner and then the double in routes. I really like double slot cross. The double drag routes along with the in route and the deep cross by the left receiver, you get really good reads over the middle at different levels because you have the super shallow drags, the intermediate dig, and then the deep cross, and then you have I put my biggest receiver outside to the right on a fade for the spec catch, so in this case that'd be Larry Fitzgerald. And it's a really tough play to defend if you mix it in with the wide receiver screen and say like Y corner or something like that. It's really tough to defend, and it's something that I actually never used to come out in at all, but in the past I use the Rams playbook now and they have the same formation, so I'll actually come out in this multiple times in a game now. I've started liking it because I used to not really like 5 wide at all, but it's kind of warmed up to me. Kind of started running it a little more. I'm still not huge on it, but I'll run it. So I think it is very good though. I think you can do some damage in this formation. So that's it for this video. It went over a little bit. It went a lot over 15 minutes, so hopefully YouTube takes it. I don't know. If they don't, I'll just have to do it again. But yeah, guys, stay tuned. I'm going to do another video highlighting all the single back formations, like single back, strong, eye, weak, stuff like that. So I hope you enjoyed. If you enjoyed, please leave a thumbs up. If I wasn't clear about anything or you want more in-depth detail on any formation or play, please ask. I'll be happy to help you guys out. That's why I'm doing this, guys. So I'm going to leave a link to, I have a live stream that I'm going to start streaming. I'll be playing mostly ranked gameplay. I'll leave that link in the description. I hope you guys come check it out. I'm pretty much just doing that to show guys, show everybody what high-level ranked play is like, and just to help people get better. If anybody has any questions, they can come on by, see me doing something, have a question about it, ask me. I'll be more than happy to answer anything. Also, I'll leave, since I wasn't too in-depth in this video, because I'm kind of feeling it out and trying to see like how quickly I need to do this. I'm gonna have a PowerPoint kind of further breaking down some of the stuff out of this playbook, and I'm gonna leave that in the description as well. So if you guys want to look at that, it's gonna have breakdowns on a few different formations as well as other formations I think could be good, as well as if you guys run customs and you want to know what I would put as my custom audibles, I'm gonna have all the custom audibles that I would set in that PowerPoint as well. So if you guys want to check that out, I'll have that in the description for you guys. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like. Please subscribe for more, because I'm going to be doing this for all 32 team playbooks. And yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks so much for watching if you're still there.